Hey, good morning. So I'm going to go ahead and get this video started. I feel like 8 a.m. Eastern is a busy time for a lot of people, but it's my open time, so I'm hopping on to do this now. Hopefully you guys all get to catch the replay, and I am going to talk. If somebody hops on and for some reason you're like, oh, she's talking but I don't hear her, stop me and let me know. All right, so for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Tammy Battaglia. I have been a promoter for a little over 4 years now with Lavelle. I could not in a million years imagine not being a Thriver. So what I want to talk to you guys about is keeping it simple, because I think sometimes we totally jazz ourselves out by overthinking our job and just making stuff way too complicated. So I want to put you in a different scenario so you can really understand where I'm coming from, and then I'll bring you back to promoting. We've been doing a lot of, adulting lately, and so we've been dealing with insurance agents. And if you've ever sat down with an insurance agent, they have all this like terms and policies and timetables and, yada, yada, yada. All I want to know is if my house burns down, am I going to have enough money to rebuild it, put stuff back in it, and am I going to have a place to stay while it's happening, right? I don't understand all the other stuff. I just need to know, am I covered? Right? Refinancing properties. You're dealing with a mortgage broker. It's yada this and yada that and percents and terms and rollovers and you name it. They're all these things. I just need to know what my payment is. How much is my monthly payment? Can I swing it, yay or nay? That's all I want to know, right? So please put that in the back of your mind anytime and every time you are talking to a customer or a promoter on your team. When a customer is thinking about thriving, they're not necessarily thinking about every ingredient, the percentage of the ingredient, the delivery system of the ingredient. They just need to know, am I going to feel better? Am I going to sleep better? Am I going to have more energy? Am I going to lose weight? They don't necessarily need all the information right off the bat. Now, I'm not saying down the road somebody might not start asking you some questions, but in the beginning, they just need to know, how is this going to help them? So if you're creating social media posts, or you're creating messages, or when someone bumps into you in the store and asks you what that sticker is, if you're going into these long explanations, it's just like when I was sitting with the insurance guy. They're literally like zoning out. They're waiting for the word weight loss. They're waiting for the word sleep better. They're not picking up on anything else. You're overwhelming them. You're confusing them. And if you keep on, you're going to lose them, right? Same goes for when you're trying to talk to either an existing customer, maybe it's an existing promoter, and you're trying to explain to them a promotion. I'm a huge fan of Lavelle because they are constantly feeding us with promotions. They are constantly giving us ways to bring in new people. As a leader, I try to look at those promos. I try to break them down as simply as possible and explain them to my team. As a promoter, I don't explain them to a customer, and sometimes ever. But when I'm reaching out, like for example, right now, I think you guys could all agree there's two promos that can overlap for some people, which can equal a big savings for some people. But if you hop on and say, hey, Sally, if you create that account like we talked about, you're going to get a $25 credit preloaded. And then if we get your order in and we do it within the first 2 weeks, you're going to get a $40 rebate. So we're going to break it up into 2 orders, and I'm going to save you all this money, and we're going to get you free shipping. Oh my, Sally is like, I don't even know what you just said. I heard so many numbers. Am I paying double? Don't do that to people. Keep it simple. When Kohl's sends you the little postcard, what's the first thing you do? You rip it off and you look for the 15, 20, or 30. You're not reading the fine print. You're not yet paying attention to the fact that the Nikes that you've been wanting are not included, right? You're just looking for the 15, 20, or 30% that they're sending you. So when I reached out to people this week who either have a new account and have never ordered, or people who don't even have an account, I just said, hey, you guys, they just announced a big sale this week on Thrive. Are you ready? Or, hey, I know a couple years ago you set up an account, you've wanted to do it, money's been an issue, there's a big sale going on right now. Are you ready? If and when they respond and say, I am ready, like how much money am I going to save? I can save you up to $65, but if we go that route, we got to move fast. That's for somebody who would get the 25 and the 40, right? And I don't want to get into details about the promo. I just want to explain to you like how you just need to use simple words. People understand the word rebate. People understand the word sale. People understand buy one, get one. I mean, people understand these words. When you start throwing things at them like preloaded credits and credit rebate and next order and it's too much. It's too much. Not only is it too much for them, but I've actually done it myself and I've witnessed it happening. When you are trying to explain somebody a promotion in that way, you get all flustered yourself, right? Because it's just, you start doing the math and you're like, am I doing this right? Keep it simple. There's a sale. They just announced it today. I can save up to $65 if we move fast, right? So breaking it down into the bare minimum of easy to understand words, almost like, and this, I'm not being rude, but almost like you're talking to a toddler. You might be talking to a highly educated 45-year-old woman, but talk to her like a toddler. Use simple words. If and when the detailed questions start coming at you, then you can answer them. But don't dive in right off that bat, right? Okay, so another example I'm going to give you. I see it happen a lot and I've done it myself. And again, I've been a promoter for over 4 years. So if there's a mistake that could be made, I've made it. I promise. I absolutely promise. When somebody comes up to you and says, hey, did you try that new restaurant in town? I've been hearing really good things about it. You just answer them. Yeah, we got the XYZ and it was great. Or yeah, we tried it because my wife has to eat gluten-free and they had so many options. You don't go through a whole thing about the menu, how it's structured. You know, I don't know. You don't go through the pricing, or you might be like, yeah, it was expensive, or yeah, we got so much food and it wasn't expensive at all, right? You're very simple. So same thing. When somebody says, what's that sticker, or what do you think about that Thrive? Just calm down and say, it's freaking amazing. I've used it every day for 4 years. And if you took it away from me, I would probably hunt you down. Like, just super simple. Keep it simple. Like, there's that whole keep it simple, stupid, blah, 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 blah. Just, again, talk to people like they're toddlers. Okay, so that's kind of, you know, how you're going to keep it simple with customers. Don't throw so much at them. They call it word bomb and everything else. They don't need to know all that. Just remember, when you are talking about Thrive to someone and you're using words like capsules and lifestyle mix and credits and qualifications and volume and they don't know those words. They know feel better, lose weight, sleep better, all that jazz. Keep it simple. Now, as a leader for your teams, and if you have one promoter or one customer, you have a team. It's a small one, but it is a team. When you are leading your team, same thing. I have a group of highly educated, passionate, driven entrepreneurs on my team. But you better bet when I hop on my lives for my team to break down a promo or throw out an idea, I get the toddler talk. I keep things simple. On occasion with your team, you're going to have to get into the nitty gritty. You're going to have to go into, you need 2 customers and 2 promoters. You got to do those things. Give examples. Keep it simple. Sally orders, Sue orders. They talk to their friend Bob and Bill, right? Just give examples. Keep it simple. Also, at any time as a leader, people are trying to do it by themselves. And I was guilty of this early on as a promoter as well. Ask for help. Just take the load off and ask for help. For example, when Brittany asked me, you know, she needed volunteers, I picked today. I was like, hey, what should I talk about? She says, whatever you're strong at. I actually broke my phone last night. I was at the store getting a new one. There was a lot going on. And so I shot a message to one of my team chats and said, hey guys, what is something you think I'm strong at that I could talk about for 10 minutes? I was trying to go over, again, I'm going over service plans and service contracts and all this stuff with this guy at Verizon. I just couldn't even think about it. And somebody came back and said, you do a really good job of keeping stuff simple. I was like, done, simple. So again, I could have drug this out. I could have tormented myself trying to think, what am I good at? I don't want blah, blah, blah. I just asked for help. Somebody help me. What am I good at? Help lead the way, because I got to come up with an answer and I got to move on. So ask for help. When you find yourself overthinking or you find yourself stuck, ask for help. I have a promoter on my team who I will totally brag about. Sandra Dilbeck will be the first to tell you that she has a tendency to overthink things, but the best thing she's ever done is she just picks up the phone and she calls me. Or she'll text me and say, hey, are you home? And as soon as I get that text, I know I got to put my headset on because that girl is calling me because she is thinking about something and we're going to talk it through and we're going to move on. So if you find yourself spinning your wheels, if you're like trying to come up with a promo or you're trying to explain a promotion or something to a customer or a new promoter, stop doing it by yourself. Reach out and get help. Simplify it. Bring in somebody from the outside and let them take over. It's not just with three-way chats. I mean, obviously with three-way chats with newbies, that's the best thing you can do is literally get out of your own way and let somebody come in who's not attached to it and let them take over. But it's the same thing when you're helping your team members. It's the same thing when you're, sometimes I'm trying to come up with a team promo and some days it's harder than others. Maybe I got a lot going on. I'll reach out to, I have a group, what I call my head honchos. It's the leaders on my team. And I say, hey girls, I need a promo idea. Throw something at me. 8 heads are better than 1, right? Make it simple. Now, another thing about leadership, and then I'm going to get off here. When you are doing things, it can be scary. I totally get it. But you got to do them. You got to try. Stop talking yourself out of stuff before you've even done it. Team Zooms. Don't be afraid. Download the app, get on there. Maybe you're going to talk to yourself. Who knows? But you're doing it. Facebook Lives. Just click the damn button and start talking. It's okay. Everyone is so worried about what people are going to think or what people are going to say. Here's a real quick tip for you. If people don't like you or people don't care what you have to say, they scroll right on by. So just remember, anytime you're talking on a Facebook Live, the people who are watching you want to hear what you have to say. Know that in your heart, because I have stumbled upon Facebook Lives that I don't care about and I just scroll by, right? So stop overthinking it. Stop talking yourself out of, you're always worried about saying the right thing. And I've done this myself. I'll be in the middle of a live and somebody who I'm like nervous about or worried about, I see their little face pop up that they're watching and it totally will throw me off my game. Best thing you can do on a live, look away. Just look at the little viewfinder and keep talking. If you want to do a promotion for your team, you want to throw out a promotion to newbies, just do it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, try another one next week. There have been so many times I've done promos, nobody's responded to a single word, and then other times I do a promo and bam, they're all coming at me with questions. Locals, for the love of Pete, if you are not hosting some sort of local, whether it be like a living room local, a Thrive After 5, a girls' morning for whatever the heck, a sip and sample, whatever you want to call it, if you are not doing that, why? Are you stopping because you don't know what the best day for everyone else is and you're not sure what time would work best? It doesn't matter. You pick the day that works for you. You pick the time that works best for you. This goes for everything. Team calls, team Zooms, Facebook Lives. You pick what works for your schedule and then you stick to it. My team knows on Monday nights at 7:30, I am going to be on a Zoom for them. If they can be on, that's fantastic. If they can't, that's okay. I'm not going to be able to do it at a different time. I have a job too. I have a life too. So pick what works for you. Stop overthinking it. If you are trying to please everybody, you're never going to get anywhere. You got to set your own pace, set your schedule, stick to it, be consistent, and go for it. The other thing I will throw out really quickly are graphics. I get asked a lot about, my gosh, where do you get these graphics from? I use a website called Canva, canva.com. It's free. There is a paid version. I don't use it. I always say if it's free, it's for me. I use the free Zoom. I'm all about free. Canva has preloaded templates. You can click on the words and change them. You can put your own pictures in there and you're done. Do they look great? Absolutely. Did I do a lot of work? No. Because why? Because I'm keeping it simple. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys. I know, like I said, it's easy to get into our own heads. It's easy to start worrying about what people are thinking or are we explaining this right? And I think a lot of times that worry and overthinking comes just because we care so much and we want these people to feel good and we want these people to buy our products so that they feel great. But you guys, the right person will respond even to the wrong message. When it's a person's time to thrive, they're going to thrive. All you can do is be consistent and simple in your approach and go on about your day. Probably one of the absolute most best simple things you can be doing is your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're not doing that, ask yourself why, then go ahead and print it out and get started. So anyway, that's all I've got today. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope this helped. And I'm pretty sure you can share this with your team if you feel like you want to. So anyway, talk to you later. Bye.